second of the season, and the youngest champ in Basel, Sam, since guess who?
I'm going to guess Roger Federer.
Jim Courier did it in 1989, the youngest to ever win Basel. How'd you get that?
I just
figured Basel, Federer is the answer to everything.
It usually is. But how about the matchup we missed? Jakub Minčić out, not able to get down. That would have been fun to see the Miami champion take on Fonseca. A couple of youngsters, but he was injured. He was out. Shapovalov retired as well. So a little bit of fortune for Fonseca in here, but then he took advantage of that opportunity, taking out a red-hot Joma Munar in the semis, and then really just dominating that final.
Let's hear from him.
My parents just came from Brazil. They actually were going to Paris, and then they just changed their flights and came to here like 1 hour before the match with my uncles. So it's just amazing to have them here with my biggest title of my career. It's a pleasure playing this sport. It's a pleasure playing this tournament. I'm just very happy.
Such a mature performance from a mature young man. He's able to do it on the court, off the court. He's got everything put together. He was outside the top 130 in the world to start the year. Now he is inside the top 25. So how would you analyze his season?
Well, I think it's been a season of highs and lows and lots of learning. You know, this is a guy who came in and was so impressive. When you win in Argentina, beating 5 Argentines to win your first title on the tour, you know you've got some moxie. And then he had expectations after that, and he had a real tough time. I think it was between Miami and the U.S. Open. He went 11-11 on tour, just 500, lots of tough lessons. But overall, a really positive season. Next year, he's got plenty of room to grow. He's got a lot of work to do in the offseason. But one thing that I like, Sam, was the fact that after he played Laver Cup, he didn't go to Asia. He actually took some time off to rest and train, and that obviously has paid a dividend for him.
Yeah, and that's been a huge talking point the whole year, right? The schedule and mandatory events, not mandatory events. Joao Fonseca said, I'm just going to play what's best for me and my body, and that's exactly what he did, and it paid off. And I think also one other point, he came out hot, right, winning in Buenos Aires. I think he felt maybe a little pressure from Lerner Tien. The two of them may have played in the finals last year in the next gen. Lerner kind of been at his heels, hopped him on the rankings just a couple weeks ago, and Fonseca said, you know, hold your horses. I'm still the main guy in charge, and it came up with a big win here in Basel.
Yeah, Lerner was the top-ranked teenager in the world. Now it's Fonseca, top 25. He's going to be seated at the Australian Open.
That's right.
Where do you see him ending next year in the rankings?
I think a good goal for him would be 15 in the rankings. That's a big jump from 25 in the live rankings where he is today. Look, and he can improve on that if he has a good run in Paris, for sure. But I think 15, because he's going to have better draws as a top player, but he's also got a target on his back. Things I want to see from him. I want to see his legs much stronger when he shows up in January. He needs to put on 5 pounds of muscle if he can this offseason in his legs so he can play defense in and out of the corners, because that's a real weak spot still, but that's normal. Sinner was like that too. A little more control of his shot selection. But the guy has more power than he needs. He's got to pull back on the throttle. So there's so much upside here, but he needs to mold it. It's still very much a work in progress.
Yeah, just like Bublik, who pulled back a little bit. I think you said it best, Jim. Can he pull back on that forehand at times a little bit to make a few more? And can he make a run in a major next year? I think this year in Buenos Aires and Basel, those were the two ups. Can he get to a quarterfinal of the Australian Open or the U.S. Open or one of the other two?
There's Bublik constraints. I don't know if there are Fonseca constraints. I think it's only good things that can happen for him going forward. We'll see if he can get to 15 and above.